In this video, I want to talk about my favorite books, the book that disappointed me the most, and what my plans are for 2026. So if I look at my reading wrap-up on, what is this app called again? Storygraph. I read 18 books last year, which is a lot less than a lot of people, but they were, most of them, really thick books. And of those, 6 got labeled as my favorites, and of those 6, I thought maybe 4 of them were worth mentioning to you guys because they're books that I keep thinking about. And then on top of that, I really only have one that really disappointed me to the point where I still talk about it to my wife regularly. Starting off with the favorites, we have Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Starter Villain is not a 5-star book to me. It's somewhere in the 4 range. A lot of John Scalzi's books are, but this got me on the John Scalzi train. Since picking this up last year, I have now read 3 other John Scalzi books and just recently picked up a 4th one because John Scalzi's sci-fi has a wit and a charm to it and an irreverence that makes it just fun and light to read. When you're in between the big things or when you're in a reading slump, you can pick this up, read it, and it will make you feel good. So I read this as my first one and loved it, and then I immediately picked up the Kaiju Preservation Society and just recently read Old Man's War because I was sick, and then it was the holidays, and I kind of lost the reading mood, and I needed something to get me out of the funk. Then moving on from him, we have someone else who I believe will probably become a favorite author. We have Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. I talked about this book in one of my last videos, the one on horror books, and it is such a phenomenal read. If you want to read a kind of dark fantasy horror set in medieval Europe that deals with the plague, this is the right book to do it. There is mystery, there's darkness, but the grief and the redemption that these characters go through is so amazing and so touching. And the world in which they live in is brought to life in such vivid ways that it will stick with you. All of the things they go through stick with you. And the ending of the book is a gut punch of emotion that will make you really just think about the people that you love and about what it means to love them as you go through life. Following that up, we have another book from the horror video, The Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Now, this book takes place in early 20th century in Montana. Well, today, early 20th century and late 19th century. We follow a young lady who is studying to get her PhD, doing research, or no, not studying to get a PhD. She already has her PhD. She's an adjunct professor. And she finds a journal of an ancestor of hers who was a priest, a Lutheran priest. And then we read his journal and his encounter with a Native American vampire, telling him his story of vengeance against the people who wronged him and his tribe. And while it doesn't have moments of really bone-chilling terror, it has moments that will make your skin crawl and moments that will send a tingle up your spine. Overall, just an amazing book that will make you stop and think and reflect. Honestly, I say a lot more and I say it a lot better in the horror book video, so you should go and watch that one as well. But this is a phenomenal book, and if you're into horror, you should give it a shot. I am just now realizing that I haven't really been describing the plot or the premise of any of these books to you. I hope that's not too big of a turnoff. Hopefully, from what I've said, you kind of have gotten a good idea, a good vibe for what they are trying to do. I'll do a little bit more of that with this last one from the favorites pile, and that is Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. Now, Lightbringer is the only book this year that I have read that, after having read it, I regularly continue to think about moments from it. I read this over the summer. It is the last book, the most recent book in the Red Rising saga. One more to come out sometime later this year, which I will 100% be getting. I love Red Rising, but I have my complaints with it, which you will know about if you saw my Red Rising video. But this book deals with a lot of those. It doesn't necessarily fix them, or fix all of them. This book, this whole second series of it, really, is really Red Rising growing up and maturing and finding its wings as an adult series. And while it still very much has some YA vibes to it, it's nonetheless matured and found its footing by the time we get to this book, and it kind of luxuriates in that. It's such a phenomenal read. And now we get to the disappointment, and I know that the internet absolutely loves this series. The most disappointing book of the year for me, The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. I have a lot of thoughts about these books. One of the biggest ones that I regularly tell my wife about is that the chapters jump around too much, if that makes sense. Each chapter feels that it's only supposed to be a set piece. You know, the chapter opens, there's an action scene, there's something that's a big set piece. Then at the end of the chapter, the characters discuss what's going to happen next. Then we jump to another POV, have another set piece, action or otherwise. Same thing happens, and then we jump back, and now the characters we were just with, they're where they were just talking about. We don't see really like how you get from A to B. And I'm not saying it needs to be like a Lord of the Rings level, you know, telling us every step that they take to get there, but I would like to feel a little bit more continuity between the different POVs as they go from A to B. We start with one place, say, oh, we have to go there, and then the next time we see them, they're there or they're nearly there, and then we jump straight into the action. It does make the story fun, but it leaves out a lot for me. And then this book in particular has some of its own glaring things that happen at the end of the book. Like the very ending of the book, again, not going to spoil anything because you should read them, but the ending of the book is this very poignant moment that doesn't necessarily feel earned. It feels like it's trying to resolve an issue that isn't, I don't want to say isn't there, because it is. It is an issue that's there in the book, but it's very much sidelined. It's not, you know, made a prominent plot point. And because of that, the way the story wraps for all the characters feels a little okay. You don't see the consequences really that push you to being there, not in any meaningful way to the story. It's just kind of a decision that gets made. Then kind of going backwards from there, you have the climax. There are moments in the climax where there are things that just kind of end or are ended, and again, you're kind of left like with a sense of like, well, why did we bring that up? Why did we talk about this thing? That's kind of my overall feeling with a lot of the story. All right, so then moving on, let's talk about what my plans are for 2026. I want to record more videos each month. I've managed to do almost one a month. There was a period there where I missed out, and then last month I managed to get 2 out. But that's a big goal for me going into 2026, is I want to do at least 2 videos a month. And then on top of that, I want to try to expand what types of videos I'm making. I want to do review videos for you guys, especially series reviews. I want to do, you know, big listicle type videos like this, or like the other, or like the 10 best books I've ever read video. But I want to try to expand outside of that. I want to do other things that will kind of excite me more about the video making process, because while I do like this, week to week it gets a little hard to get in the mindset for it. So with that in mind, I'm going to try to do some reading vlogs, not full on like recording my life vlogs, because that's really hard, and also I don't have that interesting of a life. But, you know, I'm going to try to challenge myself to read a book in a week or 2 weeks, or something fitting its length. And then between the reading for each day, I'm going to let you guys know about what happened. You guys know. You watch vlogs, I'm sure. And then from there, I also want to know what you guys would like to see. If you would like to see challenge videos, that would be great. Tell me what sort of challenges you want me to do down below. If you want to see more recommendations, or if you want to see, you know, book hauls, or I don't know, whatever you guys kind of want to see, let me know in the comments, and I will try to make that happen. Really, ultimately, I want to get in more of a rhythm with this, because the thing I've struggled with the most has been finding a rhythm. Each time I make a video, there ends up being like a 30-day or more gap, and it makes it harder when I come back to do the next video, because it almost feels like restarting. I don't like that. It's very uncomfortable. But that's the goal for this year. 2 videos a month, maybe more. We'll see what happens. All right. Those are my 4 favorite books of the year and my 1 big disappointment. All right, those are my 4 favorite books of the year and my 1 big disappointment. I don't really have anything else for you guys right now, so I'll see you next time.